Hi, Tony DeWitt here, a Missouri appellate attorney and a guy who likes to make the law make sense here on YouTube. Somebody has asked why there is such a tremendous difference in the sentencing between Derek Chauvin and Mohammed Noor. Now, those of you who may not know, I'll explain in just a little bit who those folks are, so stay tuned. Mohammed Noor was sentenced in 2019 to 12 and a half years in prison for the fatal shooting of someone in Minneapolis back in 2018. He came in, he pleaded guilty, and he was sentenced to 12 and a half years in prison. Derek Chauvin was convicted of murder in 2021, and he was sentenced to 22 and a half years. And someone asks why there's such a great disparity between those two. Well, every case is judged on its individual facts. And at least with respect to Noor, there was some question as to whether or not his acts were intentional, whether he was reacting out of fear. Now, it may be that his actions were not objectively reasonable, and I think that's pretty much what was determined. But the issue was not that he was someone who went out looking to harm someone. I believe that the evidence that the court relied upon in sentencing Chauvin was that he did actually intend to harm someone. He may not have intended to kill them, but he certainly intended to harm them. And that was the conclusion that the court reached, and as a result, it imposed a stiffer sentence. He could have received a full 30-year sentence. He didn't. He got 22 and a half years, and that may seem harsh to some. It may seem lenient to others. But the bottom line is he will get out of jail when he is a very old man, and he will certainly not be in a position or in a physical condition most likely to harm anyone else. So the role of sentencing in that case to protect the public is well satisfied. Mr. Noor, however, will get out earlier. He will still have something of a life left when he does get out. And he may have an opportunity to go on and do better things and make something out of his life. The bottom line is that we empower judges to make decisions based on their discretion. And how they view evidence and how they view testimony is an important factor in that. How they weigh the evidence and weigh the testimony of certain people is very important. A jury gets to determine the facts of the case and whether or not someone is guilty or not guilty. But the judge hears every witness that is presented in a case, every witness, and he gets to make some determinations of his own as to which witnesses he believes and which he does not. And in that situation, a judge weighs the evidence that he hears and makes his determination on the basis of that and the basis of the pre-sentence report. That's what we ask judges to do, and we expect that they will do it in an honorable manner. And I have absolutely no doubt that in sentencing Chauvin, that's what this judge did. Now, I have another video on here where I say I don't think Chauvin got a fair trial, and I stand by that. I don't believe Chauvin got a fair trial. He may be guilty as sin, but I don't think he got a fair trial because the jury was stacked against him. There was at least one person on that jury that had already made up his mind. And we know that based on his post-verdict conduct and post-verdict comments, more importantly. So, as a result, I do believe that at some point in time, that verdict will be overturned. If it's not overturned on direct appeal, which I would be absolutely amazed by, it will be overturned on habeas corpus or on federal appeal of the habeas corpus. One way or another, that verdict is going to be overturned. Now, in the meantime, Mr. Chauvin is going to spend time in the Minnesota Department of Corrections, and so there will be some punishment, even if it is not as much as someone wants. And in addition, he's been charged under the federal statute, and he'll be tried there, and I have no idea whether he'll be convicted there or not. But one way or another, there will be justice in Mr. Chauvin's case. And it may not be perfect justice, but it will be justice. And unfortunately for him, I guess, unfortunately for him, he did something that no police officer should ever have done. He abdicated his responsibility to protect and serve. You can do both. You can protect and serve. I suppose I have not been harsh enough here in my criticism of Chauvin. I do have criticism of Chauvin, and I think he did something that he should never have done. I don't know what was in his heart. I don't know what was in his mind on that day. I don't know if he was biased or prejudiced or if he acted out of hate. I don't know, and I don't pretend to know. And those people who do pretend to know are doing just that. They are pretending to know. They are, in some ways, projecting onto Chauvin their own feelings. But what he did, kneeling on someone's neck and not getting him timely aid when it was very clear that the man was not in a healthy condition, that was desperately wrong. As somebody who took care of patients in hospitals, I find it simply appalling that you would knowingly allow someone to suffer and not be able to breathe. Having breathed for a lot of patients with ambu bags over the years, what happened in his case was simply appalling. And again, I think that figures into the sentence that he was given. The issue of him having a fair trial is a completely different issue. It's separate from the conduct. It goes just to the conduct of the trial. I have never attempted to defend his conduct. I have suggested that the verdict might be in question, but I have never attempted to defend his conduct. I hope you find that interesting and helpful. And if you have any comments, please leave them in the comments down below. I would appreciate it if you didn't call me names. Generally speaking, when someone calls me names in the comments, I simply delete them. Nobody really wants to read your opinion of me. We'd love to read your opinion of what you think the sentence is and whether it was just and fair. I'd love to know that myself. And I'd love to know what you think of my opinion of the conduct. But remember that this is a public forum. There are a lot of people out here who don't want to read your curse words and don't want to read your profanity. So if you would, please try and keep your comments civil. That said, I hope you have a terrific day. Thank you. And again, please smash that like button. It lets people know that this conduct is worthwhile. And if you would, if you haven't already, please click on the subscribe icon and tap on the notification bell so you can be notified every time we release a video. And thank you for watching. Have a terrific day.